It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Today, I'm so honored to have with me on the end of the day with Ray, Bill McLaughlin and George Gorman. Bill McLaughlin is the chairman of the Jillian Fund, and George Gorman is the father of Jillian Lauren Gorman, who lost her battle with leukemia in 2013. Gentlemen, how are you doing? I wanted to bring you on today to talk about the Jillian Fund, what a wonderful fund this is. And Bill, I'm going to get with you in a little bit and talk more about the details of the fund. But George, I just want to start out right out of the gate and tell us about your daughter, Jillian.
I'd be happy to. I'm so proud of her every day, even now. She's all around us, and she continues to help us all. Jillian grew up a very, very vivacious, wonderful, blossoming personality, was socially involved in everything she possibly could. And one of the things that she was known for was wanting to help others in need. At the young age of 16 years old, she had been diagnosed with leukemia, which is just a very, very bad form of a blood disease. Mm-hmm. And she then went into the hospital, several hospitals, and at the end of this, she had 3 bone marrow transplants, kidney transplant, and some other really horrible complications of her treatment. The thing that made Jillian so unique is that she kept her spirit, not only for herself, but those around her family, her friends, and she ended up being this icon of encouragement to all of those who found themselves in predicament situations, and they reached out to her. They reached out to her from all over the world, wow, knowing what she had gone through. She was just that type of person.
Well, you know, she sounds like a wonderful person, and you're blessed to have her as daughter, and I think the world's blessed that she was with us.
Incredibly blessed.
You know, and Bill, you guys started this fund about 10 years ago. Tell us a little bit about the fund itself.
Yeah, we started about 8 years ago, and it was just a group of people who really rallied around George, and George, shared his story with us regarding Jillian, and I'm sure he'll get into the promise that he made to his daughter. George and I thought we had something in terms of being able to honor her and do something good. And since then, since our first gala, which we were shocked, we had 320 people through our last in-person gala, which was 2019, we had a little over 800 people. We've been blessed with a huge contingency of supporters, both from a corporate standpoint as well as individual contributors. We've raised over $2 million. We've helped over 250 families. We've paid 185 mortgages. We've paid over 195 utility bills. We've paid about 50 various different means of transportation for parents to get to and from their child's treatment. And we've been blessed, and we continue to grow. We continue to get a lot of support, both from folks within this industry and other industries alike.
You know, George, obviously you're blessed, you're an executive, you're successful in your career, and when your daughter, was tragically struck with this disease, you probably had a little bit financially easier than some people. So tell us the story of how that inspired you really to get with Bill and start all of this.
Sure. Well, Bill was working for a company that I was supporting while I was working at Rico Corporation. All of this happened over a span of 4 to 5 years until Jillian finally passed. And I'll tell you how Bill and I had gotten together in just a second. During those 4 or 5 years, Jillian spent a lot of that time in the hospital. Mm-hmm. She had long stays in the hospital when she had 3 bone marrow transplants, as I said, a kidney transplant, and all those complications that go through chemotherapy treatment. I was with her during the night, and I would leave early in the morning. I'd take a shower at the hospital. I'd go to work. I'd come home. My coworkers would help me. My company would stand behind me, just like most all companies will do whatever they can to enable you to be with your child. Mm-hmm. And that's how the Jillian Fund started, because I was there and saw the impact that I had on Jillian's physical well-being as well as her mental well-being, and bringing that family to her bedside, being a parent. I made Jillian a promise that I would do everything I possibly could to unite parents with their children, their time of need. Children are dying. We lose 1 out of 5 children in the country that have been diagnosed with cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no more important time than that time for parents to be united with their children. Tried to figure out how are we going to do this. Well, I met with Bill in his office, and Bill had right around the time that I had lost Jillian. Bill was younger and started his family on his own, and he associated one passing and one being born. So he got all emotional and said, "We're going to do this thing. We're going to make this thing happen." And by the end of the day, we had this thing penciled out where we were going to call everybody we knew. Bill had a lot of connections in business, and we put together, through our friends, an incredible board of directors that work with us. Every single one of them are students. We built the Jillian Fund.
Well, it sounds like wonderful people getting together for a great cause with a mission and a passion. And Bill, tell us a little bit about the fund's future.
Well, we continue to grow, and we continue to expand, and there's no signs of that slowing down, regardless of the current pandemic. Our supporters came out in full force this past year for our virtual gala, in which we raised over $250,000 virtually with virtually, no pun intended, no overhead and cost in doing so. We continue to have people that reach out. We've got a tremendous amount of support from Hackensack University Medical Center and their children's hospital. We continue to get support from our sponsors, from our donors. I'm sure Mike Schmalia. He continues to do the Ride for Jillian each and every year, in which he just made an announcement that he's going to be doing that again. I think it would be great if maybe, Ray, we could get Mike on a segment and talk about the ride and what they're going to be doing and how they're honoring Jillian, along with veterans. Jim Serkleski at Clover once again has donated a Harley Davidson this year to the ride to help raise an additional funds. I think this is going to be either his 4th or 5th year donating a Harley to both the Jillian Fund and the PAC. So, we continue to grow, we continue to expand, we continue to have people who support us and continue to be very evangelical, including people like yourself now. So it's very appreciative, and we want to make sure that this thing continues to grow and is sustainable. We've also, this past year and a half, have hired an executive director, Liz Campbell, who's done wonders for us in helping us to stay organized, stay on track, hold all of us accountable, right? We all have day jobs, but we do this on the side, pro bono, and she's been a tremendous asset to the organization. So I think we're doing all the right things. I think we're positioned very well, and we just need to keep our name out there, and we need to forge ahead. And there is no shortage of families in need, and I think that at the end of the day, once again, no pun intended, right? People want to continue to help, and the fact that each and every month we see more and more families needing support, especially in a time like now, it is a driving force. It just drives us each and every day.
Well, I was on your website, and I know most of the people that are on my platform, those corporations, Jim Serkleski you mentioned, are big sponsors and supporters of the Jillian Fund. And but there's a lot of us didn't realize that you could go on the website and donate $100 or $250. It's all set up there for us. So I asked my friends and my followers and sales reps out there. These last year and a half's been hell for everybody, but this is a great cause. I've watched this cause over the last few years, and you talked about Michael and the motorcycle ride across America. That's everybody in the channel knows that story. So it's a great story, and he's done great good for the fund. But George, I'm sure like everybody in the world, as Jillian looks down on you, she's super proud of what you've been able to do, and it's exciting to see that this has actually panned out so well for your promise and her vision. It's phenomenal.
We honor Jillian's legacy by supporting these things. Mm-hmm. Bill said there's no ending to the event. Every single month, the committee of the Jillian Fund, both of us, on the board of directors, we go over these families. diagnosis, prognosis. They back to the second, for the third time, go over their economic situation, go over their social situation.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes parents are divorced. Sometimes they're single parents with seven siblings. Sometimes they have other kids. So we analyze all of this stuff, and we have a great group of people at Hackensack, through the social workers, that vet most all of this stuff for us.
Mm-hmm.
Then they more or less, ask our approval on what we think. And once we approve it, we again go through the hospital. The hospital makes the payments. And this is something that kind of like a train being on the tracks, and it just keeps on going.
Mm-hmm.
What we need, right, is we need as many individual donors as we possibly.
Mm-hmm.
You go on our website right now. You can sign up for $5 a month, $10 a month. This means so much to us. So if there's any way you can spread that news, you can tell 10 people.
Well,
Those
sure
people
will.
can tell.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just the big donors.
Mm-hmm.
We need as many donors as possible, because the families are unending.
Absolutely, George. And it's the power of many that create great things. And you guys have done some wonderful things. And I wish that fund all the success in the world. And I know you got the in-person gala coming up in April of 2022. I can't wait to attend that. It's on my calendar. I think you put that on your website yesterday. But, Bill, is there anything you want to add as we close this out?
No, other than Ray, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it. We know that, you've got a great audience, and hopefully this story resonates with them. And, anytime we have the ability to get the camera time, we always want to make sure that we thank all of those who continue to support us. Your work is making a real, tangible, meaningful impact on a lot of people's lives.
It's amazing, and we're going to help all we can. You heard him. We got to help these guys out. George, is there anything you want to say before we end?
Just reiterate what Bill has just said. Thank you to God for our fund.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for everybody who helps this fund grow. Keep on doing it and follow in Jillian's wishes, and that is to help others in need.
Okay, guys. Folks, go to their website. It's jillianfund.org, jillianfund.org. Go to the Donate Now button. Come on, help them out. It's a great cause. I appreciate my audience. I appreciate you guys in the fund and all the families that you're able to help. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see y'all tomorrow.